Hello everybody and welcome to Critical Rocket's chassis variant series with the Trebuchets, and this is specifically the 5N. The 5N is the original Trebuchet. You would have seen this in TRO 3025 when it was originally introduced at battletech way back when. And yeah, it's pretty much straightforward. It's the chassis that all the others are obviously based off. The 5N has 2 LRM-15s and 3 medium lasers, quite a respectable loadout for a 50-tonner back on the tabletop, capable of doing pretty decent amount of damage, and it had enough heat sinks to handle firing either both of its LRMs or all of its medium lasers without too much trouble. 10 heat sinks single, which could deal with most of its heat. In a couple of rounds it could be ready to fire most of its weapons again without too much worry. Historically it was built around about the time of the SLDF 2780, I believe, and it was between the liberation of Terra during the Star League Civil War against Stefan Amaris and sort of going into the First Succession War, where it was picked up by the Free Worlds League. In fact, they made quite a few of them, and the mech is largely associated with the Marek militia these days. It's unique in the aspect that where a lot of battlemechs were built for a single role, or they were built for general purpose or a specific task by manufacturers by request of certain house militaries or the Star League itself, Trebuchets were actually designed specifically around the idea of working with a lance, and as such it doesn't work that well on its own. Historically it's always supposed to be paired up with other support mechs or with some kind of bodyguard unit. Traditionally it's the Centurion. In fact, I think the Free Worlds League run it with Trebuchet, Archer, Centurion. I can't remember whether there's another mech, might be a Grasshopper or something like that. But basically the support lance worked that way, with the Centurion acting bodyguard, the Grasshopper as the heavy mech that can jump in amongst closer targets and really wreck them with its lasers, and the Archer and the Trebuchet quickly whittling down units with their LRM fire. So in MechWarrior Online, as I've said with other Trebuchets, it's unfortunately a bit of a neglected chassis. It isn't used as often. It's very rare to see them, even with a hero variant. It's just not. It's just not a common mech. It's much like the Quick Drawer and the Vindicator, amongst a couple of other chassis out there. It can do a decent job. It's got the hard points to become any kind of splat mech missile-wise, if you want it to be. A couple of Artemis upgrades on there for some SRM launchers means it can do decent damage. The profile isn't too distinctive, which means it can't be picked out of a crowd straight off, and it's got, as I said, it's got the 3 energy hardpoints, so it can run a bunch of pulse lasers, whatever you want to do. I'd say probably its biggest drawback though is the fact that despite being a kind of taller humanoid mech in its weight class, it does have a very distinctive flat profile straight on, which means hitting the side torsos where the missiles are kept are relatively easy, although one of the LRM launchers is in the arm. The most distinct one is in the right torso, I believe, and it's kind of like an awesome type hitbox, so very easily targeted by some of the pinpoint accuracy of the likes of Gauss boats or laser boats, that kind of thing. So you kind of have to be aware of that when you're engaging targets front on, and it's where the Trebuchet actually works best in MechWarrior, basically running as a support mech rather than being a straight up fighter. If you can work with a lance, or if you're running obviously on comms, Trebuchets work brilliantly for being able to just focus the target and bring them down quickly. I think one of the other reasons you don't see it as often as well is because the likes of the Kintaro and other mechs that pretty much have far more missile hardpoints, and then you've got other mechs like the Vulture and now the Archer that can unfortunately do its job better with multiple LRM-5s, that kind of thing. But I still like the Trebuchet. It is worth a go. The 5N is basically one of the default chassis to pick up. The 5N and the 7K and the 3C are my personal picks of the Trebuchet line. If you can get the hero, it's worth it. I haven't got the hero to run around. I think it's called the Ludiger, or Lub. It's a French one. I know it's something to do with the Wolf of something. Wolf of War, maybe, or the Warwolf, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's as far as I know, the hero version isn't that bad either, although look it up on like Smurfy or whatever just to get an idea. So the TBT-5N is a decent chassis. As I said, though, if you haven't picked it up and you're looking for something a bit different, maybe to stand out on the field, Trebuchets are definitely one of those mechs. So the rest of this is a bit of a back and forth on this round. I'd like to shout out to a player who was on my team called Loganeer, who, despite the ending, he did say that at least he got to meet me. I missed that originally. I didn't get to say anything to him after the end of the match, but yeah, thanks for being there with us at the very end of the beat-in, Loganeer, and hope you have better luck in the future. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next chassis variant video. Bye.
New target acquired. Target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. Ammo depleted. Target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. Right torso critical damage. Target destroyed. Target acquired. New target acquired. Center torso critical damage.